Good day and welcome to Matt Stern Photography. Gonna do a quick tutorial this morning to help people with noise reduction, especially with images that was shot with high ISO. In this case we've got this image and I selected one that's a little bit hard. Let me just see here. And you'll see that it is shot at 1000 ISO, 60th of a second. Not going to go into too much of the detail, just going to run through what do I do. Now standardly what I'm just going to run through a standard quick fix for this image so that we can see what we are dealing with. And please note that I'm just using presets based on my own personal favorites. I think we're going to go in at about 5000. Maybe take that back to where it was and drop that to 49. I like to do these things by eye. Want to see, it looks very dark still here for me. Okay, I'll go in there, drop that down to 30, and we might have to crank the lights up a bit. I'm going to lift the level a bit more. Alright, take the lights down a bit more. I'm not going to go into detail. Let's close all of this so that we can get into the section where we want to be. I'm going to switch off the noise reduction part of it, and we're going to go zoom into 100%. So that you can see nicely what is the problem here. Alright, so what do we sit with? We sit with all of that with a high ISO, and that is what we're trying to get rid of. Alright, let's run over the settings here. I've got it relatively sharp here. I'm going to crank it back just a little bit. You can always work on sharpening in Photoshop. And go there. We're gonna 70, let's drop that down to 70 as well and crack up the mask to 90%. Guys, I do not really know what is the difference between these things. All that I know is what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Alright, just a before and after there at 100% level, you can see. Note that there is one compromise when you sit with high ISO. The moment that I turn this off, you're going to see that there's more detail coming into the picture right across the board. Alright, but our concern here is to deal with noise, not really sharpness at this stage. I'm going to export this as is. In fact, let's just take this straight into photo, edit in, and let's go to Adobe Photoshop. Alright, so the first part of noise reduction is here in this area, where you can turn up the luminance and you can work with the detail and everything there. You're going to have to play with these sliders in order to get where you want to be. Alright, here we go. It's taking a bit of time exporting as a TIFF, which is always a bit of a story. For noise reduction, the best thing that you can do is to convert this image into the lab mode. So we're going to go into mode, and let's go to layer mode. Let's also duplicate this layer, and let's just go to noise. Alright, and where we want to work is on the channels, on the lightness channel. This is where we're going to work with noise reduction and sharpening, but in this case just looking at noise reduction. So we're going to go in. I want to go to an actual pixel view. Alright, get that little drag hand by holding down the spacebar on your computer. So this here is where we want to work on noise. There's still some there. Now a lot of people will say this is relatively okay already, but let's see what we can do. Alright, the idea is just to remain in your lightness channel, and then we can go to filter and noise and reduce noise, and then we can play around with this. Alright, sharpen details. Alright, you'll see there in the background, if you look here in this area already, what happens when I turn on the preview. Alright, so my settings here is a strength of 10 maximum, preserve details at 63%, and sharpen details at 10%. Remove a JPEG artifact. Alright, so we're just going to let that process run. Alright, now your sharpening and your denoise works in contrast to each other. I've got a method that I use. It's a very long one. I'm not going to go into details here, but as you can see, this image is looking pretty okay already, from a standpoint that we can go into up to, let's go to 200%. That is really not bad if you consider that this shot was taken at with 1000 ISO. Alright, so I'm gonna pause the video here or stop it, and then create another video just with another way that I deal with noise. No, the sharpening side of it. We'll see. Thank you for watching this video. I know that it was very rushed, but it is really just for the purpose of 1 or 2 people that's asked about this. Thank you.